Hello everybody and happy holidays and welcome to the third ever edition of the Loudcast. I'm your host Lincoln and joining me as always is my wonderful and colorful cast of crew, including but not limited to Luann.
Have a Christmas.
Lola.
Hey, what up?
Lana.
Christmas.
And introducing for the first time ever on this podcast, we now have a Lily. Lily, would you like to say a few things about yourself?
Poo-poo.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anywho, on today's edition of the podcast, we are going to be resuming our discussion on Season 1 of The Loud House, and we're also going to mix in a little bit of a Christmas special with this, talking about the first half-hour special of the show, and a fantastic episode in its own right, 11 Louds A-Leapin'. But before we get to that, we want to remind you that to follow us on Twitter, at InTheLoudcast, on... Do we have a subreddit? We do have a subreddit.
We have a Reddit, but we don't have a subreddit.
I'll make one of later, though.
We just do it on the Loud House Reddit.
Alright, follow us on the Loud House Reddit, and...
We have iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Yep, with increased production value on the YouTube. Keep tuned in for that. And on SoundCloud at The Loudcast. Without further ado, we got a lot to talk about on this week's episode, and of course we're recording this about into actual Christmas, like 10 minutes from Christmas, to give you a little timestamp of when we're recording this, so we'll make sure to say the appropriate Merry Christmas when, it actually becomes Christmas.
Wait,
anyway.
what about different time zones?
Yeah, it won't be Christmas
What's
for
8
me.
minutes from now?
Yeah, it's Christmas for me in an hour and 8 minutes.
It's Christmas for me in 8 minutes, and that's the one that matters.
That's true.
Oh,
You
okay.
are the host of
Okay.
Christmas.
Wow,
This is the host.
I'm offended.
Same. I'm triggered.
Poo-poo.
Spider-Man
Anyway.
died.
Let's start with the last... We left off on the Lincoln Loud Girl Guru and
Ugh.
Come Sail Away, 2 episodes that we agreed were not that great.
Yeah.
So, as a recap, that's what we got. But now we're on another episode that got very mixed reactions on our first episode here on the podcast, and that is Roughin' It. The basic synopsis for Roughin' It is Lincoln goes camping with Clyde to get reacquainted with his masculine side. That is probably the weirdest description of an episode I have read on the Loud House wiki for this
Really is.
entire
Yeah.
series. Does anyone have any specific feelings about this episode? Because I really don't have any specific feelings.
My
I
least
like
favorite
it.
episode, as I said.
It was a good Lincoln development. Like, he's showing how he was really bonding with his sisters and stuff, and the fact that he wanted to be less like his sister and be more of his own guy, and then he remembered that without their advice that he would have had a really hard time surviving out there, even though Clyde's dads weren't really that far away. But still, it was a pretty good episode for Lincoln, I think. Best, honestly.
Thinking about it, this is actually a really well-written episode for Clyde, too.
I just
Yeah,
really
Clyde was
hated
good in it.
Lincoln's
He wasn't
character.
all Lori and stuff, But
What did you not like about Lincoln's character?
He just annoyed me. His personality annoyed me.
I just didn't really like how he was all like, not wanting to be girly or whatever. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But he did learn a pretty good lesson in that episode. I haven't seen that episode in a while, so I don't really remember.
Living
everything
around
about
girls
it.
making him less manly, but one of the things that kept him going was what his sisters had taught him, or
Yeah.
what he learned from being around them.
Yeah, and I don't even like that
Yeah, it was
moral
a pretty
because
good
I think
episode.
a better moral would be who cares.
That's all I really got to say on that one.
Well, I mean, saying who cares also kind of, throws away a lot of the influence that your family had. Like, my family had a profound influence on me growing up, both my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters. Like, the fact that they're girls is not the reason they have this influence on you. It's because of their personality as individuals.
Yeah,
And I don't
but,
like the way they portrayed it in the episode, personally.
well, I mean, to be fair, I think it's portrayed better here than it is in the opposite episode, or in an episode with the
You're
opposite
correct
moral.
about that, and that's why this is only my second least favorite episode.
Oh, okay. So it is your second least favorite. Not your
Yeah,
least
yeah.
favorite.
My
Second
actual least favorite is just the worst episode. So yeah.
Oh, and it's the one coming up. But not next. Next, we
Yeah.
actually have an episode that a lot of people liked, and I'll admit, it's one of the only times I've actually liked Lori in the entire series. We have got The Waiting Game. Lori gets a job at a pizza arcade thanks to Lincoln, who gets her in trouble by asking for favors. First of all, this episode is stupid to me for the fact of Lincoln trying so hard to be invited to a place where you literally process garbage.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I can walk into my bathroom and see that.
He was
just
not
wants
a
to be
good
with the
person.
trash.
Just go into a porta potty. It's the same thing.
It basically is. But aside from that, the more of the premise of this episode is that Lincoln and Clyde want to get invited to the cool kid's birthday party. So they basically just, keep getting him free stuff at the arcade. And eventually that gets Lori into a very sticky situation. And then, lo and behold, Lincoln saves the day by, covers his own butt, taking over for her, and episode ends on a happy note. That's essentially the episode. I remember nothing else.
The episode was very predictable, to be honest. I don't think it was very good. Lori was the
I
only good
just
part about
like
it, in
that
my opinion.
Lincoln didn't make his sister go through it, and that even Clyde, being the good friend he is, helped Lincoln and just stayed with him.
I mean, does anyone remember a joke from this episode, though?
No.
I don't think this episode was very memorable in the terms of actual comedic content.
I didn't think it was a bad episode, but
I
at the
honestly
same
don't remember
time, I
anything
didn't
but
like
Lori in
Lincoln's
that dress at the
character.
end, to be honest. Pretty forgettable episode, in my opinion. I didn't
Yeah.
really like it that much. It was okay, though. Patience in the show, Go back, more world development's always pretty good. And they did reference the arcade in one of the boys episode place, too, so that was pretty cool.
I think that, honestly, this episode was just... most of the humor in this episode was supposed to come from the fact of Lincoln fangirling over the popular kid. And honestly, that popular kid looked I don't know how that kid could be so popular because he looked like a really bad OC.
Yeah, Chandler.
He literally looked like crap. I hated his design. It just didn't look like a great design.
I don't remember his design at all, honestly.
He just
Wasn't
had...
his name Chandler or something?
Yeah, Chandler. He just had... And his dad worked at the toxic... Or not even the toxic, just the waste facility.
It's where Chandler really belongs.
Lily, do you have any strong thoughts on this episode?
Not really.
I mean, this is kind of just one of those pass 'em by episodes. Just a blink and you'll miss it one.
That's true.
However, we get probably my actual favorite gag of the series, or my favorite reference of the series, in the next episode, The Loudest Yard.
Oh, I forgot that this episode
Yes.
existed, actually.
That episode was pretty alright.
I like this episode.
When Mom signs Lincoln up for Pee Wee football, he schemes to have Lynn take his spot. But before he can manage to get Lynn to take his spot, she tries to train him manually, which leads to my favorite reference of the entire show, where he goes in to run and kick the football, and the sister that they get to hold the football is Lucy. And Lucy pulls the football away a la Charlie Brown. And the music actually changes to Charlie Brown music for a whole 4 seconds. And that sold me on this show being just so affectionate to, comics of old, comic strips of old. Because it was just so wonderful to see that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite references too.
But overall for the episode, I felt awkward, I guess, because it's usually episodes like these that make me feel a little awkward with just, hiding secrets from your parents or, oh, my son's a big star, and then turns out he's not. That's just something that kind of makes me feel awkward in episodes, but I still rather enjoyed it.
As somebody who actually hates football, a lot, I actually like this episode.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of football, but it's a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Even the episode name itself is a reference to The Longest Yard.
Now, do you know The Longest Yard by the original version, or do you just know it for the Adam Sandler thing?
The Adam Sandler.
I figured.
Is Great Khali in that movie?
Yes, so is Goldberg and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas,
Wow.
everybody.
Oh, Merry Christmas for Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Merry Christmas for me. Anyone have any other thoughts on The Loudest Yard?
I like the twist at the end where it's oh my gosh, he actually scored a goal, but
It was on himself.
the other team.
Yeah,
Is it even called a goal in football?
it's called a
Touchdown?
touchdown.
Yeah.
Hole in one.
We suck.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like how
a hole
Luan
in
muted
one.
himself. That's what we were kind of buying time there for.
Lincoln got a hole in one.
Oh yeah, he got a hole in one.
Grand slam he did was just amazing.
And we're back talking about The Loudest Yard. We had some little connection issues there, but we'll hopefully edit out most of it in post. In the meantime, though, we had our wonderful, wonderful guest from last week, Cryptrik, join us for this holiday edition of the Loudcast. Say hi to the people, Crypt.
Hey everybody!
Hi.
Merry Christmas to all you and yours.
Aww.
And Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and the other one.
Oh yeah, and all those other things.
All the holidays. That's why we say happy holidays. It's not
And
just
we're all-
Christmas. around here.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
And
Ronnie
we're also introducing a new member of the Loudcast family in our very own Ronnie Ann.
It's Flip.
Ronnie Ann.
Ronnie Ann's here?
Yeah, Ronnie Ann, would you like to introduce yourself for the podcast?
Hey, Lamos, it's Ronnie Ann.
Man,
Great.
that was...
10 out of 10.
I don't know whose was better, just the poo-poo or that one. They were both pretty good intros.
Boo boo.
Anywho, Ronnie Ann and Crip, we are talking about the Loudest Yard, the episode.
We already talked about the loudest yard.
Yeah, just wondering if they have anything to add before we continue onward.
Alright.
Since
That's the one where Lynn plays football for Lincoln, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That one was pretty good.
With the best Lucy gag in the series.
And that being.
The one where, and
The
I already explained it
football.
earlier, but where Lucy's the one that pulls the football away from Lincoln.
Oh
When he
yeah.
tries
that,
to do the
I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember
okay.
that.
See, that was a good moment, but my actual favorite Lucy moment is at the actual game where she's holding up the sign that says "Embrace the Darkness."
I don't remember that. That's like a wrestling sign.
Man,
You
that
don't
one,
remember that?
I don't remember
was
that either.
perfect.
Yo, you know
I
what would
remember
be a
that. That
funny
was
reference for
hilarious.
Lucy in the future?
What?
If she started like doing stuff for 5 cents.
Dark poetry and advice for 5 cents.
Yeah.
The doctor is in your soul.
Alright.
Anyway,
Hey, that's pretty good.
speaking of Lucy, we actually have what I'm gonna say is kind of a Lucy episode next, which is the raw deal. Lincoln becomes Lincoln becomes a hypochondriac when Lucy predicts his day will quote unquote end in disaster. Unfortunately, Lincoln must go with his family to enjoy quote unquote a beautiful day at the park.
Yeah, I really like this episode.
You know, it's one that I've seen less often than all the others, but I think it actually is a pretty good episode. I don't know why I haven't seen it more often.
Yeah, it's
forgot
got its
that
own little
episode
charm to
existed.
it.
I like how vague like she leaves it. So like Lincoln's in complete panic the whole time.
I need to rewatch that one again. I don't remember a thing that happened in it.
What I mostly remember is that Lisa got a award for discovering a new creature, which ended up just being a like squirrel with something taped to it.
It was an owl.
Oh yeah,
An
Lisa
owl,
had
yeah.
a pretty prominent role.
This is
It was
probably
an owl turtle.
this is probably what I would say is more of a Lisa episode than Butterfly
Yeah.
Effect, because like people always say that Butterfly Effect was a big Lisa episode. I think this one more so.
This episode kind of just existed. Like, I don't remember thinking it was particularly good or bad, but it was there.
I mean, it was a Lucy, Lisa, Lincoln episode, which is a very weird mix.
Yeah, weird ensemble cast.
Because really none of the others were really focused on at all. Like, I don't remember anyone else getting focused on.
Like I forgot the exact things it was, but like I think one was like something about a stranger and opening doors. Then like it was a literal stranger opening a door instead of like
Yeah.
being some sort of like metaphorical thing.
Oh, so like like the actual literal interpretation.
Yeah,
If
and
that
like
was
one
a,
was like I think something about like change and like they got like coins or something.
oh yeah, you'll find dirty money, and then Lana actually found like $2 in
Yeah,
the toilet.
she got
Yeah.
she got like $1 out of the toilet.
I like that.
Okay, that one was good, but I mean, this is probably one of the episodes I forget a lot more of, and I've seen every episode of the show at least twice by this point.
I don't think I've seen Raw Deal twice, honestly.
I mean, I don't know, it's weird. Anyone else got anything interesting to say about it before we go to one of my personal favorites, actually?
I really liked you know how in it has its own the end title card, and I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh
That-
yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, and also this is the last episode with Grant Palmer voicing Lincoln, so
Yep, it's
there's
really,
that
Yeah.
too.
Yep, it's really funny that one of my favorite episodes is an episode that had my lesser favorite version of Lincoln, which is this next one, Dance Resolution.
Oh baby.
This is
Oh,
my
yeah.
Oh,
favorite
boy.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I like this one.
Ronnie
This is
Ann,
one of
let's
my
hear.
favorites too.
after the synopsis, I want to hear Ronnie Ann's opinion on this kind of Ronnie Ann episode. It's the Sadie Hawkins dance at school, and Luna, Luann, Lynn, and Lucy have accidentally landed Lincoln 4 dates.
Oh,
Can I just-
accidentally, you say?
Can I just say how much I appreciate all of his sisters wanting to get him dates?
Yeah.
I love the choice of the 4 sisters. I'll say that.
Well,
Man.
I would feel really weird if Lily tried to get him a date with one of
That's
Lily's
very
friends.
true.
That would have
would've
been
weird.
beautiful.
Or Lori or Lenny for that matter. Little
I could see Lenny doing it.
Yeah.
She would have got him a broom. She would have just.
She would have got him
Yeah,
a mannequin today.
Someone to really sweep him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, you can go to the dance with my friend Manny. Lenny, that's a mannequin.
Mannequin.
So, Ronnie Ann, what were your thoughts on this fantastically, I guess, awkward yet fun episode about Lincoln dating 4 girls? Well, 5 if you count Ronnie Ann.
Well,
Yeah.
again, admittedly, it was a pretty by the numbers episode. I don't think it really did anything new with the subject. But the reason why I like it personally is it just brought a lot of fond memories of mine growing up. Like, for example, the title itself. I'm a huge DDR nut. So just the title of the episode itself was like, oh my god, it's a game that I used to play, and now if I tried it, I'd probably break an ankle. That was cool. But it also introduced, in my opinion, to one of the best background characters, Tabby.
Oh, yeah,
I really
Tabby
love
is
Oh
good.
yeah.
She's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Really, I mean, all 4 were pretty neat, but Tabby takes a cake.
You
Yeah,
got
Tabby and
Tabby.
Haiku are my 2 favorites.
You
The
got
other 2 are irrelevant.
you got some rockin' chops, mate, when he's playing air piano.
Wait, who is that?
All right, so
Isn't that Luna's date?
yeah, so Luna
Yeah.
got him a date
Oh.
with Tabby, the young rocker.
Luna
Luann, yeah,
Tabby was the best.
Luann got him a date with a clown. Lynn got him a date with
With the roller derby person.
who I hated, but more on that later.
Yeah.
And then Haiku was Lucy's one. And the question, so they're all supposed to be around Lincoln's age, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand Luann going to clown school and running into a kid. Okay, that makes sense. I can understand Lynn, being relatively close to Lincoln's age, having a slightly younger friend that's into roller derby. Where did Haiku come from?
Probably from a poetry corner or something.
Just like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
goth
yeah,
group of friends at school.
I remember in CoverGirls, like she went to this poetry reading place. Maybe she got it from there.
Okay, because I mean,
Generally, they hang together,
Yeah.
all right. And where did Luna find Tabby?
like a concert.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Sir, maybe has some relation with Chunk.
Or a
Oh,
that's
band
true,
rehearsal.
that's true.
that would actually be a really cool headcanon if that was like Chunk's sister.
Yo, I agree.
Man,
Make
that
it
would
Chunk stutter.
how old is Chunk anyway?
Probably like 30.
Yeah, he looks
I'd
about
say
it.
in his 20s at least.
Yeah.
That's my new headcanon. We're gonna have to discuss that on some future show, like even more
Okay.
about just headcanons. But anyway, so this episode, anyone else got any thoughts?
Well, I mean, like the writers do know about this, so like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Fun
we
fact,
can ask them maybe.
I hate Luann's date the most, even though Luann is my favorite character, and my favorite is Lucy's. I love Haiku.
As do I.
I like Tabby.
I really like Haiku and Clyde together, by the way,
Oh, that is a cute shipping.
even though Lucy hates me for it.
I like Luna's date. That one, she's pretty cool.
And then I used to pretend I really was into them together, and I would call it Hi Clyde, and he got
Yeah. You did that to mess with the Lucy.
yeah.
We still gotta have Lucy on one of these shows.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That would be really interesting to say.
But,
It would have to be a
Yeah.
PG-13 episode.
No, we will have Lucy on the Lucy Gets a Date episode, when she's trying to impress that
Oh,
boy.
okay, that works.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I thought it
Although-
was a good episode, though. I like it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great episode, and I especially love how Ronnie Ann and Lincoln this episode sells me more on them just because of how cute they are with like, huh? I wasn't going to ask you to some lame dance. I was going to ask you to hang out at the arcade. Like, they have the same idea. This and another episode, April Fool's Rules, were the two that made me just love Ronnie Ann.
Agreed.
Okay, like something I liked in this is like the little jokes that like Clyde's scared of heights, yet he's up in a really high place and he's like passing out during the episode.
That was kind of a subtle joke because I didn't really pay much attention to him, but then when I think about it, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but like,
I actually like Clyde.
That's just gotta show like how loyal he is to Lincoln and helping him out.
Yeah, I really appreciated him in this episode. Actually,
Clyde's the best character, and everybody knows it.
And I like that like Lincoln didn't have to go through like the awkwardness of dumping like all 4 of the dates, and they just like sort of like went with his friends.
I want to bring that up because that is one thing that I loved about this episode more than anything is that Lincoln's friends are all a bunch of jerks, except in this episode because the three that get like take his dates are so lovable, especially that one that ends up with Tabby at the end.
Is that the one that was that lived underneath the bridge or whatever?
No. He's the one who when the boys were all distracted in Study Muffin, he's like, and they all end up in the trash can. He's the one that says, "I found my retainer."
Oh, that kid's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I forget his name all the time. I only know him for his accent.
Is it like Liam or something?
Yeah, I think it's Liam. It probably is.
What,
I think it's
like
Liam.
he's short with orange hair?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Liam.
Yeah, I love him and his friends because these are the ones that aren't kind of jerks to Lincoln. These are the ones that are like, "Hey, Link, yeah, we're not going to make fun of you or anything because, we're not the only reprehensible, like, 5th graders in your school." Because everyone else treats Lincoln like crap. These are the only ones that actually treat him well.
Yeah, like, what if this was the same group of friends that were messing with him and saved the date?
Exactly. Like, if that was the case, I would hate this episode, but I really do love his friends in this episode. And I'm happy that they all get dates.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything to add to this great episode before we go on to another episode? I say another because I forget what people thought about this one in the first episode.
I think we're good on this one.
Another one.
Oh, just one thing.
Yes.
Sorry. I think it's the only episode where auto-tune is used. When DJ Link gets up there.
I want to see you on the dance floor.
Exactly.
That was great. And then I love how he's up there, and then the guy comes back and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing up here?" And then he runs away. Like the fact that he just acknowledges him. All right, so all in all, you guys think great episode, must watch?
Indeed, of course.
Yeah.
Not must watch, but it's really good.
It's not a must watch, but like it's up there.
I'd say it's close.
Because so far we've only had 3 or 4 episodes that we've put as much watch, which include For Bros About to Rock, House Music, Cover Girls, and I think we had one more that we put in.
I don't think Cover Girls is a must watch.
Well, I think we put that as a must watch just because we all thought it was really funny. I
think we all agreed that we should watch it again, and I think Driving Miss Hazy is a must watch.
Oh, yes, Driving Miss Hazy was the other one that we said was a must watch.
It's just both really fun.
Oh, and Sleuth and Consequences.
Yep, that was another one. Do you think this is on par with those, or do you think it's not nearly as good as those ones?
I'd say it's above Cover Girls and around the par of the other ones that we said were must watch, yeah.
Alright. But now the real question is, will this one hold up? A Fair to Remember.
No.
That one was real good.
When Lincoln and Bobby become friends, Lori sets out to make Bobby jealous by hanging out with, you guessed it, Clyde.
I like this because it's like Lori just pulled a Clyde.
Don't.
Now,
Bleep that out.
Now,
JFC.
now, the sad thing is, I'm gonna leave that, but I'm gonna bleep it out so you can assume what he said, but it's not explicit.
I'm fine with that.
But yes, you are right. That's the one thing I hate about this episode.
Yeah.
Clyde is super inconsistent with how he reacts to Lori.
Yeah.
And this episode is like catatonic. He becomes
He had died for
catatonic.
the whole episode.
I've always wondered what Lori's thought process was. Like, what led her to believe that dragging Lincoln's hapless friend around was the best way to go about that situation.
Hold on, let me think. How can I make my Latino boyfriend jealous? I know. I'm gonna go get a fifth grade. A fifth grade. I can't even finish it. I can't even finish it.
Lenny.
Yeah, you could have dressed Lenny in drag.
I think that's what makes this episode not bad, is that the concept is so good. Like, it's such a funny concept.
I mean, this was a good episode. Like, I didn't have a problem with it.
I actually liked Clyde and Lori together because I didn't have to deal with Clyde.
Lori, am I right?
I think my favorite part of this episode, like my absolute favorite moment of this episode, is when it's after Lincoln and Bobby hang out for the first time, and they keep doing a bro handshake, or like, you know, like the fist bumps and everything, and they're like, how do we end this? I have no idea.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty funny.
Some people say they're still handshaking to this day.
It was a pretty funny episode, all things considered.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna give it credit for that. Lola, Lily, and Ronnie Ann, you guys got any thoughts?
I really like Lori in this episode because she seemed kind of dopey and dumb with her ideas. Like you said, dragging Clyde around the fair, around Lincoln, just seemed like a fantastic idea.
That's how she acts around Bobby.
She wants Bobby like crazy, man.
Love makes you dumb.
I also love how Clyde almost dies in this episode.
Yeah.
How do you love that? That's disgusting.
No, because they're 5 for 5. He even
Lori's
said it himself.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Ronnie Ann, you got any thoughts?
It was okay.
It was okay. It featured your big
it was
brother.
okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. I didn't think it was that great. I didn't think it was that funny, but I don't know. Whoever brought up the idea of having, you know, instead of Clyde being the tool that she uses,
be Lenny and drag
jealous. Yeah, I think that would have made it a bit funnier.
I want to see an episode where we have one of the sisters in drag just to try, you know, fooling someone's parents or something, or like, oh, Bobby's
it's called
parents
the loudest yard.
No, Bobby's parents says that he'll only let us have, you know, a very intimate date if we double date with, you know, someone trustworthy. Who are we gonna get? And then it's like Luna and Luann, where they date each other, but one's
oh my god, that's so perfect. Luann would be the guy.
You know, that should be a fan fiction. That should be a fan fiction.
How dare you do this to me? I'll show you. And then Letty appears. Hey, he looks familiar. I don't know what you're talking about. This is my new friend, Leno. He just moved here.
Leno.
Say hi, Leno.
Jay Leno?
Yeah.
And then
I can see them acting like an old married couple, and Luna being so sick of Luann after a while.
And then I would have the idea that when Bobby looks at her, looks at like Lenny or Luann or whoever's being, you know, the drag sister, him just looking at her, it's like, man, dude, how do you get your pecs to be that far out?
They're very toned.
I've been working out.
What's the actual what?
All right. So we're gonna get from a fair to remember to an episode that we all know and love.
Speaking of drag,
featuring the Ninja Turtles, we have One of the Boys.
Oh boy!
When Lincoln wishes he had
City.
When Lincoln wishes he had 10 brothers instead of 10 sisters, Lisa gives him a glimpse into that reality.
Oh boy, fanfiction city.
Oh yeah, this is where fan fictions were born.
I hate it.
All right,
and art, quote unquote art.
All right, to keep the hatred and love for this episode on a concise path, I'm gonna moderate from the top to bottom. Crip, what is your opinion?
Me personally, I really enjoyed this episode because it gave us a whole bunch of new characters to check out and see how it would work on the other side of the coin, and how Lincoln comes to the reality that, hey, maybe swimming in a sea of estrogen isn't all that bad.
Do you think this was done better or worse than in terms of moral? than the opposite episode that we talked about earlier, Roughing It.
I think it was worse.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think anyone here is going to argue it was better. Unless someone
There,
is.
there
then-
isn't, there isn't really anything to teach, is there? I'm sure he could already come to the conclusion, like, maybe my current situation is already better. Didn't have to be taught that.
Well, I mean, he also learned that, the situation where he's the only sister is pretty great, I guess, for all of 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait so long to get my anger out on this episode looking at the list.
All right, Lana, Lenny, or Lily? Do any of you guys have opinions?
I like the fact.
I mean, like, I kind of liked it.
No.
Hey,
Luann,
wait, your
let your
turn.
sister speak.
Yeah.
Calm down, go.
All right. So, I liked it, but like near the end, where he started going to different universes, like where he was the girl and he had brothers. Like, what does that mean? There's also one where like the house is just like all girls except for the dad.
Yes.
Yes, probably. Actually, yeah, that probably does exist.
Or like even worlds where like there's still one boy's just like a different character.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, that probably means that if you go by multiple reality and multiverse theory, there's probably
I've
one.
I've seen that episode of Family Guy.
There is probably a world where they are all the rabbits, like in the original pilot, like
Oh, yeah.
or the original idea,
Yeah.
like anthropomorphic rabbits.
One girl, 10 Clydes.
Oh god.
Oh boy, oh my, that means there probably is a reality where it's like one Lori and 10 Clydes.
There's a world where
There's a
I
world
lost where that was going.
There's a world where this podcast actually knows where it's going.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's an
Very
alternate
distant
universe.
world.
There's an alternate universe when Lincoln and his actual sisters are doing a podcast about us.
So,
Oh, God,
so,
imagine
so,
that.
so
Whoa
on,
there, man.
on a side note, one thing I do want to discuss on a future episode, on a side note, have any of you guys ever watched Critical Role?
No.
What the
Nope.
heck is that?
It's a bunch of voice actors playing Dungeons and Dragons. And
That's
when
nerdy.
That sounds like it's awesome. I might check that out.
oh, it is awesome. But the thing I was wondering when I was watching it was, man, if Lincoln and his sisters were playing, or a Dungeons and Dragons party, what would happen?
No.
Because I just imagine things
Maybe
would
they
get
might
thrown.
do an episode like that, like the SpongeBob special, Dungeons and Doofuses, or no, Dunces and Dragons.
Dunces and Dragons, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I saw that episode of SpongeBob way more than anyone should.
yeah, that's like the best special right there.
But
There's
regardless,
someone
that was just
in
something that popped in my
that
head.
I liked a lot, and I forgot who it was.
Are you talking about David Bowie from the SpongeBob special?
No, I was
Atlantis
talking
Square
about
Panthers?
from Critical Role.
Oh, Matthew Mercer, probably.
Who's that?
He voices McCree in Overwatch. He voices
I hate
Kanji.
Overwatch.
All right, he
Oh,
voices
he
a
was
lot of stuff.
Kanji in Persona. You're right. I don't
Yes.
think that's who. Oh wait, maybe it was who it was. Honestly, maybe.
He voices Mafia Kirby or a Hannibal Lecter Kirby in a Smash Bros. Off series, but neither here nor there. Let's get back to the topic.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the topic.
So, I guess Lola, what do you think about one of the boys?
It was okay. I'm not a big fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I didn't really know who they were voiced by. I recognized Seth Green, I don't remember who.
Yep, Seth Green was Lori.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Ashton was, I believe, Lenny. And then Rob Paulson who's Donatello, was Luann, and Luna was the guy who played Michelangelo, who I forget.
Honestly, pretty much everything Crypt said is what I said. But instead of the lesson being what he said, the lesson should be, don't go to dimensions made by your 4-year-old sister, children.
All right, so we got.
I'm not going to say much more because I know Luann really wants to go, so I'm going to let him go now.
All right. So we got Crip's opinion, we got Lana's, we got Lenny's. Well, not really. We got Lily's, we got Lola's. Luann, what do you think?
This episode.
Oh, the editing.
Edit that.
Okay.
That's a no-no word.
Why?
It's Christmas.
Why, Luann?
I hate this episode so much.
Luann, you don't use that language here.
I've already talked about why I hate this episode, honestly.
No,
Yeah,
you
you
gotta go
already
over it again.
did.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
I talked a lot about it in episode 1.
Yeah.
I really hate this episode.
That's your fault. You gotta go over it again now.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
I mean, I mean, Luann, tell me, is it really as bad as, I don't know, some other bad episodes? Is it?
It's worse.
Is it really less bad than Come Sail Away?
It's so much worse.
Is
it worse
really
than
worse
April
than Lincoln
Fool's
Loud?
Rules?
Oh,
Yes.
that was a
It's
low
literally
blow.
the worst episode of all time.
I hate this episode. Okay, every character acts completely out of character, and that makes me so angry. Because if you were just the same person in a different gender, you would not act like a completely different person.
What about Lynn?
Lynn is still even acted
What about
different.
Lynn?
Lynn acted the most similar, but still different.
What about Leon?
Who the hell is Leon?
Was
Lily.
that the Lana?
No, that was Lily.
What about Lana?
This episode made me angry.
I don't see him as much different.
I mean, honestly, probably the most different one was Lola, who was a lot who was a lot meaner, and well, I
liked this one
And
better.
Jair.
Yeah, why are women allowed to act stereotypically masculine, but men aren't allowed to act stereotypically feminine, according to this episode?
We'll get to that in the
Tumblr.
Tumblr episode.
No. We're not getting involved with Tumblr.
No,
That's a
but
no.
honestly, Luann, you're not wrong. I do not like this episode that much for the moral. I do find some of the jokes alright, and I do love the bit about, the voice actors from Ninja Turtles.
I wanted so badly to like this episode too, because I really like gender swap episodes.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Adventure Time does them really well.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm giving this my seal of disapproval. This episode is really not that great.
The Lincoln seal of disapproval.
Ronnie Ann, what do you think before we head on to the next one?
Well, hell, what's left to say?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's one of the boys.
Well, there are a couple things.
Of course.
One thing that I do like is I'm a huge fan of Rob Paulson. So I was
Rob Paulson's
really glad to hear
awesome.
him in
Yeah.
this episode. Like as already mentioned, the boys were pretty one note. They were all just these, tough guys and let's Dutch oven everyone and belch as loud as possible. It
So,
would have been nice to see
10 limbs.
exactly. Instead of each guy just being himself, it's essentially the same boy. Linka is a stupid name.
Oh, it's a really dumb name.
It's a
A really dumb name.
stupid name. And
Might as well
honestly,
call him Linkle.
yeah, no. But honestly, like even Linka's design, it just looks like Lincoln in drag. Like I don't know. I didn't really see girl. I just saw Lincoln with a skirt.
And
It's
we've
like-
seen Lincoln in drag at least 4 times already.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah, and Linka sounded the exact same as Lincoln.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
as if
Was the
that's
same
what
act.
I'm
Was the same voice actor.
Yeah,
Well-
they didn't put much effort into that part.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of give Grant Palmer Colin Dean the crap for his voice just sounding a lot higher. I mean, if it was Grant Palmer, he would have tried to sound lower or higher for that, but that's just my personal hatred of, or not hatred, but my preference for Grant Palmer over Colin Dean.
Right. But also at the same time, it was such a short part of the episode, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the large part of the episode was worse.
Right.
I for one liked Linka's design, but for me, it's as if they opened up their Wii, edited the Link in me, and changed his hair. That's all they did. It's literally like that.
No,
The little gender symbol.
no, and made him like the favorite, so the pants changed, maybe.
Yeah, that's literally all they did.
Right.
That's about it.
To think, if this follows the theory, there is a universe where they all actually were in drag.
There's a universe where I like this episode.
Yeah, but I don't think we're ever gonna find that universe.
We will not.
But speaking of which, we have the episode that made me both simultaneously slightly enjoy my least favorite character in the show, and then hate her. Well, hate her for most of the episode, and then kind of feel
I love
okay
her.
for her. We have a Tattler's Tale.
Oh, I love that one.
Lola
Yeah.
wants to be a part of her siblings' secret club, or their secrets club, but they won't let her in because of her tattletale tendencies. Opening this up to you guys, I have nothing positive to say about Lola almost ever, except one thing in this episode.
I think this is an underrated episode, honestly.
It didn't change my opinion on Lola. He's
I've
my
always-
least favorite.
I've always loved Lola's snarky attitude, and this episode just made me love her more.
Same.
My
Every series needs a villain.
my unpopular opinion. All right, so
Th-
To
th-
me-
this is the episode that makes me kind of think Lola's a certain B word, and that is bratty.
I see what you did there.
I actually want to watch this episode again because I've only seen it once, I think.
All right,
Maybe we should watch on the rabbit later.
yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I agree. I really did like this episode. However, I still do not like Lola that much, except for honestly, the only times I've ever liked her were her part in this and her part in the Christmas special.
What about her part in the episode where Lincoln had the noise canceling headphones thing?
I thought that was mean. I
I thought
that
you
made-
liked her in that. I remember you saying that was the one time you liked her.
I liked her meanness, but even then, it's still much less than everyone else. Like, the two things I liked her for in this episode was her eventual, I took all the blame, guys, because I know I did wrong. And, like, that, okay, I can give her credit for the morality of that, even though she's a backstabbing little whatever, and just tells all her stuffed animals their secrets anyway. Because, that's still telling someone. But the one thing that did redeem her, at least a little bit more in this episode, was just the hilarity of leaving the cactus outside of her window, so that if anyone, and then with the note saying, if you landed on this cactus, it's because you were snooping in my room.
Oh yeah, that was
P.S.
funny.
Enjoy the pricklies.
I did think that was great. But
Like who's that devoted?
I mean-
Lola.
this episode's the only episode where I will say I fully that I liked Lola.
Like
Otherwise-
just leaving a diary as a decoy. Like who does that?
And then a note attached to a cactus that is precariously placed under your window.
Yeah, and even putting a note under her mattress.
Oh, okay. I take it back. I also did enjoy the part of this episode when he was trying to find dirt on her.
Yeah,
And he
yeah, I
goes-
like that
and-
part.
and he goes to
That's
the
the one
pageant.
part that I liked.
Oh
That was-
yeah, I remember that. That was pretty good.
I also like the part where they were getting into a giant fight, and Lincoln's just off in the corner like, guys, I found it.
It's like, are you Leslie Sweetwater? Do you want the information or not? And just stuff like that.
Yeah, like, and that makes me wonder, is that a character that we saw in Toes and Tiaras, possibly?
We
You know-
saw an episode where Lana was being Lola. I don't remember it, but somebody on a Loud House on a Discord pointed that out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Huh. Well, anyone got anything else to say about A Toddler's Tale, or are we going to get into
I
another
liked
one of...
everybody but Lola in that episode, to be honest. And
I mean,
I'm representing Lola, so the
I-
ending was a little predictable, though. The whole entire episode was just extremely predictable, and I didn't really like it.
Okay, no, the exact ending changed me a little bit, because I thought she was going to be like, oh, she learned her lesson, and she's never going to tell the secrets to anyone. And then she just tells them to her freaking stuffed animals. What a backstabber.
I do like the fourth wall break, though. They do that a lot in the show.
I still feel like she's gonna be tattling on him in the future.
Oh, probably. I mean, there's an episode confirmed where she blackmails them into buying her a crown. What a freaking...
That's even more crazy than Luann.
Great villain.
No, I left that space so I can edit myself into, like, a bleep.
Just pretend that you said that.
I'm too nice, guys. I can't really curse that often.
Okay.
Cuss
I
right
can't.
now, do it.
All
I'd
right,
do
now,
it for
now,
you.
all right, now we're getting into the next episode. You guys.
Oh,
Jesus Christ,
There is
fucking
one-
dude, you should make.
We didn't
you
ask
should
Ronnie
make-
in on his
You should make
opinion.
that bleep like 10 seconds long.
So anyway,
You magnificent bastard.
see, I'm good. I know how to do things. I'm pretty funny.
There is one detail about that episode before we move on that I really liked.
Which one?
Again,
Toddlers.
in Toddler's Tale, the one thing that I really enjoyed was watching all of the siblings together and sharing their crap.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just hearing them, do the dirty things that they did, like Lucy, tainting her mother's dress with except for her betrothal.
Yeah.
With
Don't forget about Hugh.
Well, I mean, she's
Yeah,
the most
we'll get to Hugh.
emotional, pun
Hugh
intended.
Mungus.
Wow.
Dong.
Come on. Too far.
Wait, what?
You,
I don't
Humongous
understand. This is the chaos you get when you have 11 podcasters in one Discord chat.
This
Oh,
isn't
I
even
see.
11.
White,
We have
how
1, 2,
dare
3,
you.
4. We have 8. 7 or 8. We have 7 or 8. That's not bad.
Yeah, and one of them's not even a sister.
Yeah,
Aw.
Two of
Lincoln.
them. Two of them aren't.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lincoln.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
3 of them.
Cryptrik.
3.
Yeah, I'm just
Ronnie Ann is a sister.
and I'm just a,
Bye,
Not-
Mary.
a
not- not
hobo
this
they
family, but,
Luda
like-
picked up off the street.
No, Lola.
Yeah,
that's-
you're the guy that we found behind Burger King.
Crip, you're Leon Loud. No, you're OC
Holy-
Loud. Your
Lexi
first
Loud.
You
Your
forgot
first name
Lamar
Loud.
Loud. What about
Jamal
Lamar?
Loud.
Oh, here's my opportunity. So I remember telling this from last time. Allow me.
2C.
There you go.
2C.
2C. Yep, 2C. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, I remember that.
Yep, you're
Put him in the
2C.
loud family now.
Hey, Crip, you want to join our
Throwback.
podcast? We'll call you 2C.
We've peaked. End the podcast.
I
No Jews in the crew.
man,
I can make puns too, Luan.
man, and speaking of puns and funniness, great transition. We are at Funny Business.
Yay!
Yeah.
Ooh.
We only
Lincoln,
did Luann
it
episode.
worked.
Lincoln becomes Luann's clown assistant, but starts hogging the spotlight. Luann, I give this to you.
Knock, knock, it's Knuckles.
All right, time to mute Luan. Okay, so
So, I like this episode a lot because it's a Luann episode, of course. And I actually didn't hate Lincoln in it, even though he screws over Luann.
Like
And I
hardcore.
like the ending. Yeah, like hardcore. And in general, I just liked the whole theme of it and everything, and I thought it was pretty good. The moral I even liked and everything.
You know, I think I enjoyed this episode a lot for the fact that, yeah, Lincoln was well written, Luann was well written, and
Yeah.
the ending where they bond was just the cutest. Like, I loved
Yeah.
it.
yeah, like I really liked this episode because of like the way it conveyed a moral. Because like,
Yeah,
'cause,
agreed.
like he was getting like all wrapped up, thinking he's like the big stuff, and then like instantly just crashes.
At an emo kid's birthday party.
Yeah, that part
and
was really
yeah,
funny
Luann
too.
was even willing to like let him fail.
And I love Luann's solution to that. It was so
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, this episode was just
I like the
Phenomenal.
part where the kid hits the pinata and then hugs it.
This is definitely another underrated
yeah.
episode.
Is this
Yeah,
funny
yeah, that's-
business or
yeah,
April
that's
Fool's
fully
Wolf?
IRL.
this
Funny
is funny
business.
business.
Oh, this is the episode with the Lost reference in it. Don't think I'd miss that one.
It's the one I lost because I didn't get it.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
okay.
either.
Was
Yeah, it's a
that a
reference.
pun right there?
I got it.
It's a reference to a web comic that has some online notoriety. It's about this guy who likes to play video games.
That's
And
not
so
lost.
It was just. Here, hold on. I'm explaining it.
That's not
So-
Batman.
So there's a bunch of video game comics, and then right in the middle, he does a comic about his wife having a miscarriage for some reason. And the funny
Oh.
part is that it's completely has nothing to do with whatever the other comics were, and people just dogged on the guy for that.
No,
And
no, no.
It's become a bit of an inside joke.
Now, Crip, if I may elaborate on this, when you say, in this exact order, wrote a comic about his wife having a miscarriage, but the funny part is, end quote, it doesn't really make you
Well,
sound
then
that
after
good.
that, the plane crashed on the island, and they were lost on the island, and the main character was Locke.
And then the director of the series ended up doing Star Wars, and yeah, rest is history, guys.
History that I never knew.
And
But-
this is why the Loud House is on TV.
But funny
Hooray
business,
for lost memes.
funny business is
And
actually
that's why only one side of tape is sticky.
funny business is actually attached to another episode I think is really good, and it's the only other winter
Oh.
episode aside from the
Funny
Christmas
business
special.
was okay.
We are now on Snowboard,
I love this episode, honestly.
Oh,
and this is
Yeah.
the best Lisa episode in my opinion. The
This is
Loud
why
Kids,
Lisa,
The
I
only
love
Lisa
Lisa.
episode.
oh man.
the Loud Kids set up to show Lisa what is fun about a snow day.
What is fun? Fun is when you
F is for
Fun.
friends,
Friends who do stuff together.
U is for you and me.
F is for fire that burns down. the
N is
whole
for no
town.
survivor.
U
Okay.
U
no.
is for uranium.
Uranium.
And it's
Bombs.
bombs.
N is for no
For no
survivors.
survive.
Man,
Plankton. That's
Matt,
not what
Not
fun's
what
all
fun
about.
is about.
man, I love how we're mixing in the show that is being replaced by Loud House in the Loud
Oh,
House
yeah,
podcast.
true.
Anyway, Snowboard.
Yeah, I did that out.
Long story short, we find out that Lisa has the power to control the weather.
It's a
Oh.
government conspiracy, man.
Look, Lisa is mage confirmed.
Yeah, I'm not messing with Lisa if she can control the weather and melt things at. Oh, and have a robot
And to
that
have
shoots lasers.
and to have direct ties with NASA.
And sexually violate college-age kids.
No.
Oh,
We're
wait,
not
no.
there
what's
yet.
that episode?
Lisa is
We're not there
literally
yet.
Rayquaza in human
Not
form.
That's one of the boys' part 2.
What the hell are we talking about?
That's
All
from-
right, Snowboard.
That's from.
This is getting so off topic.
Yeah, Snowboard.
I just realized the episode title pun, and I'm so stupid.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
what?
you're the pun sister.
I know.
Come on now.
It took me until now.
Luann,
Snowboard, get it?
the-
like
the-
you.
the-
Yeah.
I think our
This
host
is
wants
the
us.
person
I
that
think our host
listens to
wants
Luann.
us to stop and just like stop. It's time to stop.
Yeah, Luann, your dumbness is not going to derail the podcast by not understanding the simple
Also,
concept
this
of
is like an hour ago,
Snowboard.
so happy
and this
Christmas.
is the person that's supposed to be making the puns, by the way.
This is probably one of my favorite episodes because Lisa forever was my second least favorite character for 47 episodes, and that episode made me love her, and now she's near the top of my list.
I mean,
That's cool.
I mean, both of the snow episodes, you know, the snow and then the Christmas episode, are what made me love Lisa, like, really hardcore.
Yeah, yeah, she just keeps getting better as the series goes on.
Yeah, I liked it because like she made a tank out of snow.
I forgot how hardcore she... Wait, hold on, I just realized. Isn't this
I
episode...
love the ending as well.
Isn't this episode just a more realistic, yet also slightly not more realistic version of the SpongeBob episode where they have snowball fights?
I was just about to
No.
say that.
A lot of steals ideas from other shows.
This is not.
It's
I mean,
SpongeBob.
like, I even have a certain gif of that episode.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Alright, so
Rude.
overall, good episode?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
episode.
Alright, now,
Yes.
because now we're about to get into a group of episodes that I can only describe very
Oh.
simply as homage to horror, homage to horror, homage to horror, and homage to horror. Because all four, because all four of these episodes have horror as a theme in some particular way. One in terms of quality. First off, we have the price of admission.
Yep, that's the worst one.
I like this
That's-
one.
Nah.
I
After
like
I
it.
don't-
I like it a lot based on the one joke where he's practically begging his parents to see a kids movie.
and where his dad, like, really super hardcore wants to watch Blarney the Dinosaur.
Yeah, 'cause, like Lincoln was like on his knees, like please.
Yeah, aside from those a few funny jokes here and there, the price of admission did nothing for me.
I think
I-
my problem with it is that I saw it more than once, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it was just another filler episode, honestly.
And
It
then-
was like,
Yeah,
it was like a half an hour special Halloween thing or something.
Yeah, that was the first half of it, and the second half was One Flew Over the Loud House.
This was a great episode.
Underrated.
AKA Half Loud 3.
Yeah.
Left for Loud.
That one,
Half Loud 3. The
That-
Loud of Us.
Oh my god, shut up.
that pun was really reaching with the One Flew Over the Loud House, because I understand, like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest, but
I didn't even get
I
You
that.
like
can't
it.
just-
I
you
think it's a
can't-
great pun.
You can't just staple Loud House to everything and have it work.
Well, because they're both
Yeah, it
nouns.
is.
You
Just
make
ask the creator
mashup. You
of
should know
SpongeBob.
that works.
yeah.
Yeah, mashups have the most uninspired puns. Come on.
So, basically, long story short, zombies.
And
Yeah,
blind,
but
I
flu.
bother to title them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you do.
the
Yeah.
flu making zombies.
Zombies, but every time.
Mambo Number West is such a bad pun. Come on.
It's Half Loud 3,
Yeah,
Yay.
It's zombies, but every time there's a reference to zombies, it's replaced by the flu.
Yeah, that's actually about right. Bye,
Lenny was the
Ronnie.
real star of the episode. Let's agree on that.
Oh, I actually really love this episode. Another great Lisa episode. Lenny was really good in it.
Lenny was great, and Lisa was
Underrated.
just ready to shoot down his sisters with ketchup or whatever. No, soup. It was soup. He was just...
Why'd you use extra chunky? It's harder.
That's an awful impression, but it's funny either way.
It's
It
chunky.
wasn't meant to be an impression. It was just like a quote in a different voice.
Oh, okay. So you were just doing an unrelated voice to the characters.
Yeah.
Okay, of course.
So it had a lot of good development for Lenny. Just wanting to take care of her sisters and stuff.
I
Yeah, this is
forget.
another episode I'd love to watch again.
I forget. Is this
Well,
one?
let's do it later.
Is this canon? Like this one?
Yeah.
Like they're okay. So they just became
Yeah.
zombies without becoming okay.
They just got the flu.
Do you know
Trust me,
what
I
I-
had the flu. It sucks ass. I hate
Yeah,
the
but
flu.
did it turn you into a legitimate zombie?
Well, I found out. I think I fell a couple times, so maybe.
I like the way they portrayed the survivors in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It felt like The Walking Dead meets Loud House.
And I hate zombies, and I'm so sick of zombies. I hate The Walking Dead.
I hate
and
the zombies. Yeah.
Oh no, Lucy has turned.
It's the
Is how I always look.
yeah.
Is
It's-
it that hard to tell?
Well,
this is the
technically,
better
nah.
half. This is the better half of the Halloween special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's not the scariest episode. The
Of
scariest
course not,
episode
because the scariest
is, of
episode
course,
is next.
Study
Serious
Muffin.
episode isn't one of the boys.
Oh.
There's
Hold on,
one
hold on, hold
very
on.
specific problem that I have wrong with.
Hold on. For all of you people, I want to say the name of this again. Stud-E Muffin.
No, we get that one.
Yeah.
No. I want to sit and see how that got past the censors.
I like it. How is it not past the censors?
Oh, hi kids! Look at this Stud-E Muffin.
I
Stud
get
Muffin isn't that like lewd or anything.
Yeah, but like Nick has a unique way of getting things past the censors. Like the way they got in Hey Arnold, how they got Olga's mom around being an alcoholic was like she was
coffee.
constantly drinking smoothies.
Or smoothies,
Just
yeah,
to
that's
get
right.
the trophy.
Coffee was
the trophy
Pokemon.
wife and Johnny
That's right.
Bravo.
Alright, so, Study Muffin. Lincoln gets a
There's-
tutor that all his sisters instantly get crushes on, making it impossible for him to study. I do like how the synopsis for this episode on the wiki even says, all of his sisters instantly get crushes on.
There's
Yeah.
one
Well, that's what
problem I have
happened.
wrong with this entire thing.
That girls are really shallow?
No, they did not use Luna's British accent once.
We know.
Yeah.
We've already talked so much about this episode. We're all just
rant
gonna
about
repeat
it so
ourselves.
much.
Yeah, I've got the unpopular opinion here.
Yeah,
in that
Crip,
this is
explain this.
yeah, Study Buff is my favorite episode.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
That's my
Yeah,
unpopular
yeah,
opinion.
it's a-
Oh.
yeah, I like the episode. The only thing I have wrong with it is that lack of Luna's accent.
Yes,
hate
there's
this
my
episode.
unpopular opinion.
Alright, Crip, state why you like it. Like, what reasons?
The song
So-
Why Oh Why by Love Letters in this episode.
Yeah.
So
Fun fact on the wiki. Pretty good. Listen to it one day.
it's just I don't know, I've always liked episodes like this where they temporarily fall in love with someone. Like I don't even know. It's just always been a thing about my character and what things I like to watch and check out, and it just taps into that. And there's just a lot of comedy in the right moments. All the sisters trying to accost the tutor as they're trying to find a good hiding spot to study, and it just all coalesces together into a product that I really, really enjoy personally.
Oh,
Merry
Disagree with everything you
Christmas!
said. Oh yeah,
Dude,
Merry
Christmas an
Christmas for
hour ago.
Lana and Lily.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Woo!
It's not poo poo.
This episode sucks.
I only like the
come
second
on,
half
it's
of
not
it.
that bad.
Alright,
Great
alright.
Christmas.
Faces can
Pretty
start
cool.
as early as 4
Alright.
years old.
All
Alright,
the characters act the same.
I
out of
like when Lloyd
character.
was all like, that was funny.
Here's my issue with the episode. I think the episode was good if it didn't go too far. And I say that because A, all of the sisters, even a few of the ones that are, I guess, more specifically supposed to be level-headed, like
Yeah.
Lisa.
like Lisa. And, well, especially Lisa, but like Luna was drooling like a dog. Like, jeez, that goes a little far. And then, of
Oh,
course,
I just realized something. That if this episode only had like a couple of the girls swooning over him, I wouldn't hate it.
well,
Yeah.
here's also there's two other things that make this a little like
But
bad of
Lily
an
wasn't
episode.
in it. So
Yeah, all right, yeah, 3 things that make this episode bad. 1, Lily wasn't in it.
Come on.
I don't think
2,
Rita was in it either.
she was not. 2, the fact that, and again, we mentioned this earlier, Lisa sexually harasses a college boy, like, with a stick.
And you just said that Lucy was the most sexual. Come on.
I hate you, Lola, for posting that in the chat.
Oh my.
Right.
can we
Rape
talk
faces
about
start
Lil
as
Nas
early as
Senior
4
for a
years
minute
old,
and how
kids.
great he was in this episode?
Okay, he was funny.
Who?
Like, girls, he's getting away.
Oh.
Well, and here's the thing. This episode does kind of touch on the fact that, Lincoln's, like, boys are guilty of this too with Mrs. DiMartino.
Yeah, and I
However,
hate that part as well.
That's a wifey right there.
But no,
That's just creepy.
but guys. All right, so the extents that Lincoln and his classmates go to, his boy classmates go to, they do things that, might be a little, they're not creepy outright. Like, they're just, oh, we all like our teacher so much, we're going to get her giant, gift baskets. Or, daydream about her, or whatever. All right, that's tame. Now, just imagine if what the 10 sisters tried to do to Hugh. Imagine if the genders were reversed there.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, the girl, like, if I would have done what those girls were doing to Hugh, but to a girl, I would be arrested. Like,
Yeah,
no
it's
time,
very true.
like no time flat.
Yeah.
I would have been thrown in jail the second I did
Yeah,
anything
if the
like that.
roles were reversed, this would not make it on television.
No.
Yeah.
And that annoys me about this episode. That's the one
Yeah,
thing
like can you can you imagine like Lincoln or Clyde like getting like a ruler or something and saying, and look at those glutes
Oh,
on this
no.
Martino,
No.
boys.
I mean, yeah,
What?
that would not fly. That would not fly in a cartoon. Crypt, I like the episode and a lot of the humor, but it just goes too far for me in a
Yeah.
lot of cases. And
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I did find, and of course, who can forget the, all right, time to shield myself from our teacher's blinding beauty. Why, thank you, Lincoln. You can get a seat in the front row. Oh,
Can you
my
imagine how much he would hear from his classmates? Like they would not let him hear the end of it.
Another headcanon that Dance Dance Resolution also highly supports is the shipping of Lincoln and his 50-something-year-old teacher.
This episode sucks. And on that note,
On that note, the recap episode, which is not actually a recap
That's not a
episode.
recap
No.
Recap episode of nothing to happen.
Yeah,
You
a
mean
recap
you mean
episode
a
of
clip show
things.
episode?
Yeah, the clip show episode of things we never saw.
it's a flashback episode, not a clip show.
It's like, remember that Powerpuff Girls episode where they were just reliving everything that
No.
happened to him or whatever?
I remember the Phineas and Ferb one.
Oh yeah,
That one was
It's just like
sad.
I
that.
remember the Loud House one.
Oh yeah, I remember that one too.
Yeah, Homespun.
Wasn't it the one where Homespun,
Yeah.
where a tornado was gonna come to the Loud
Yeah,
House?
when
and
a
Lisa-
tornado throws the Loud
was-
House, the Loud Kids reminisce about the
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
events that
yeah,
happened
and
in their
now, like-
household by
like the first
Carla
time Bobby came over.
Sakis Shropshire and Jordan Koch. Aired on
What?
September 22nd, 2016. It's the 52nd episode of the series, and it got a 1.92 rating.
Luann, watch your
Are you
language.
trying to make
said
the
a bad
editing
word.
harder?
They're saying the last name of someone.
Anyway,
Jordan's a good guy.
anyway, does
Jordan,
anyone have
what?
any concise opinions on Homespun?
I like this episode
This
a lot.
is the true Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, I liked it a whole lot at first when I rewatched it like the other day, and I had to shut it off. It was kind of cringy, but I loved the part where Bobby came over for the first time. Like that was cool to see. Like he just falls for the
Yeah.
floor, and
Yeah.
Lori's like, "Are you bleeding, Boo Boo Bear?" And I was like, "Wow."
I
You
think
just
there
go
should be
together.
more episodes like this, honestly, because I love episodes that show you what happened before the show was on the air. Like, I think there should be a lot more backstory.
A lot more lore for Lori.
Yeah, lore.
I would honestly like to see a episode, like a half-hour special where it's like they're all stuck in like a bank vault or something.
Guantanamo.
What about an episode where
the
Princess
Family Guy
Lori
episode.
being a baby, and then Lenny shows up, and then whoever else shows up, and then it continues to Lincoln? Or no, to
Yeah, I
William.
like bottle episodes.
Luann, say that again.
I like bottle episodes a lot.
I kind of link this one to a less intricate version of the Gravity Falls episode where they fall into the bottomless pit.
I've never seen that.
Well, I like episodes and things that are kind of like the Canterbury Tales, where each individual, like a bunch of characters tell frame stories while they're, doing something else. Like this episode where they're all in the basement and they're just, telling stories.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would do
Forrest
like a...
Gump.
Exactly. Like, except, with multiple characters.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that they would do like a half-hour special of something like this, because again, I just really enjoy the world building. I really enjoy,
Life is
Agreed.
like a house full of 11 kids. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what kid's gonna come and complain to you.
Oh boy.
There's no more bottomless pit than the bottomless pit. What
You
you can
never
see here
know.
is
You
bottomless.
never know what the fans will ship.
Well, and of course, this episode had a very heartwarming moment. Actually, a few really heartwarming moments.
Yeah.
Most notably,
Everybody said, "Dang it!"
with them appreciating their home, but also I thought the Lily story was heartfelt and emotional.
What was the Lily story?
It was like
I-
this.
We
No,
gotta
they all
ignore
came
the
into the
fact
house
that
for the
Luann
wedding
can speak
anniversary.
fluent baby.
Yes, Luann can speak fluent baby. It was the one where they decided to paint the
Boo-boo.
house. The one where they decided to paint the house for their parents' anniversary. So they paint it like rainbow colors. And then they end up repainting it white, but they do like their handprints all on the side of it.
Oh yeah. I like
That kind of reminded me of that one scene from Up, where like they were painting the mailbox and they both put their handprints on it.
Yeah, like exactly. That is just such a show of family and communal bond.
I thought it was a really good season finale.
It really was.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
It's another
And-
episode I'd like to watch again.
Yeah, and speaking of season finale, that wraps up season 1.
Woohoo!
We did it.
So we
Yep.
only have like a few more episodes left.
We only have, as of now, 3 episodes left that were released for season 2. Which
Are we gonna
one?
talk about this?
Well, we're gonna talk about one of them because as we're
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
wrapping up here in the
It's
next little bit, it's Christmas.
Hooray.
Merry Pringles.
I can't wait for the new Senor Pello Mucky video. That's gonna be fantastic.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying.
Oh yeah, we forgot before we get into the Christmas episode. Patchy Drizzle was
What?
the weatherman in the Snowboard episode.
That sounds like Patchy the pirate from SpongeBob and started rapping.
And there's SpongeBob again. My, how it
Yeah,
comes full
Yeah,
circle.
like that name just sounds like if Patchy the pirate started a rap career.
No,
Yeah.
because then that would just be P Dizzle.
P Drizzle.
But
I forgot. Oh yeah, it's almost like J Pizzy.
I don't even know
Pizzy?
what does that mean.
That's Lynn Senior's name for Jigsaw puzzle. So.
Oh, you're
that's
so
right.
right. Oh,
That's right.
God, how come y'all forget this stuff?
Because that episode sucked.
It's like I'm the only one who watches Loud House.
Because
that,
that episode
running
sucked.
gag was not good.
Because that
It's J
episode
Pizzy,
sucked.
though.
Because that episode sucked. That was Chore and Peace, right?
Dude, that's like forgetting Flip.
Chores? What are they good for?
Absolutely nothing.
nothing.
But who
Say it
remembers Flip?
again.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Will Flip's voice actor is in this next episode and the Christmas episode. 11
Yay.
Clouds a Leaping. Yeah, he's the voice of
It's
Mr.
true.
Grouse.
I'm aware.
Voiced by John DiMaggio, also Bender the Drunk Robot.
My yard, my
I
property.
thought.
My yard,
thought
my
it sounded
property.
familiar.
Oh,
I
what went
knew
over the
he
fence this
sounded
time?
familiar.
Was it Bobby? My yard,
My yard, my property.
Babe? Okay, so
My yard, my property.
so everyone has their own favorite episodes of The Loud House. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And, for some of us, it might be ones based on our favorite characters. For others, it might just be ones that were particularly funny or well written. This episode, bar none, for me, and I will argue it, probably even beats out For Bros About to Rock, as this is probably the best episode we've gotten.
Yeah,
I've
like
seen
in
it like
opinions,
8 times
it may
this whole
not,
month.
in total outcome of who viewed it, it's easily the best episode.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. This
It is the best
is.
episode.
this episode was actually in the top 10 of the most watched things on the Friday night it aired. It beat out a lot of Sports Center. It beat out a lot of things on Fox News. It did remarkably well for a Nickelodeon cartoon on a Friday night.
Yeah. It served its purpose.
It's a really good episode.
And it
I've
is
seen
a
it so
really
many
good episode.
times.
It's the one episode I can see over and over and over and over and not get sick of.
And we get to see more about Mr. Grouse. I don't think we knew his name until this episode.
Did we? I don't think we did.
He was always just the guy that harassed Lincoln.
Yeah, I think they
Nice
made his
dress,
name
Loud.
especially for this episode. Because
Yeah.
it sounds like Grinch.
And
How does
actually,
Grouse sound like? Never mind.
Nice crown.
Well, I mean,
Lon.
it's
what are
up
you
to the G.
doing? About to go to a beauty pageant?
He's got the grr.
Actually, yes. Oh.
A-
good
and
luck
fun-
with that.
fun fact, guys, for our German listeners, they actually just had this episode aired yesterday.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This was the first airing of that episode in Germany and in, I believe, Portugal were yesterday.
Nice.
So, congratulations. You guys got the best Loud House episode aired yesterday. Merry
Yeah,
Christmas.
I wouldn't say best, but
it's probably like one of the best timings too. Like
Absolutely.
Christmas episode released on Christmas Eve. That's like amazing timing.
Actually, I think it's Christmas in Germany now already, but yeah, still.
So, going through this episode, I'm actually on the wiki, and they actually have it labeled by, Act 1 and Act 2, which I love because it's the first 30-minute episode of The Loud House.
Yeah.
And, in my opinion, this is the episode that's done, there should be more 30-minute episodes of The Loud House, because 30 minutes lets you focus on every character. Everyone got great focus in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
I will
best
say-
gag easily was when
The 12 Months
they-
of Christmas?
No,
No,
no.
it's
It
Luna's,
was when
man.
they told Lori not to open any presents, and then
Yeah.
Bobby was one of the presents.
Well, that
Great
was...
got development for once.
Yeah, that was fantastic because we got Lori development that did not seem forced. It seemed organic, and was not related to Bobby, at all.
But in the end, it turned out to be because, no spoilers, but he was in
There
the
were-
box.
There
Yeah,
were
like,
two
what-
things I
yeah,
liked
No
about this
spoilers, but
episode.
spoil.
Right. There were two things I liked about this episode. One, I really liked the song that Luna sang halfway through it, and it's nice that we got to see the parents' faces.
Merry Christmas, honey. If you don't have my gifts, I'll gladly take money. I wrote it down on my Christmas list. If I don't get my way, I'm gonna get...
Loud!
Man,
No,
you...
not
yeah,
that one.
And that's where we got a brilliant meme from that I'm trying to find right now.
Not that one. The one that happened a little later when they're all in front of Mr. Grouse's house.
Oh, that was very
Everybody's
well
there.
done, too.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to, not the earlier one. Although that earlier one was still pretty good.
I
I
mean,
kind of was a little disappointed that Ronnie Ann didn't show up, but oh well.
I realized
How
that...
did they get Clyde's dad to show up, but not Ronnie? They could have just copied and pasted her in there and moved them out, and that'd been it.
Well, because then it would have been a little awkward because then they would have wondered, wait, why is Ronnie Ann not looking for her brother? Why would she be with them rather than, out looking for her brother, Bobby, who is not at their... Whatever, maybe I'm
Because
just
maybe
overthinking
he told
it.
her.
Ah, okay, yeah, well, yeah, all right, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got no logical argument to that. All right, bro, go lock yourself in there with no food or water. Have fun. Does anyone have a rebuttal to the Ronnie Ann being fully okay with her brother starving himself?
I mailed myself in a box, and it actually worked.
He was
Gone wrong.
He was
Besides-
In the
so
hood.
starving.
Besides, hold on, isn't Bobby supposed to be a good big brother?
Yeah, supposedly.
He's
all right.
okay.
No, all right. See ya,
There's
sis. I'm
nothing
not gonna...
showing that he shouldn't.
See ya, sis. I'm not gonna spend Christmas morning with you.
Well, he didn't know he was gonna be in there that
Okay,
long. He
that-
said
that-
open
yeah,
immediately.
yeah,
That's
like-
a good point. Okay.
He's stupid Lori's
like-
fault.
He probably
Actually,
knew
it was
about
Luann's
her
fault.
obsession with opening presents.
Luann's the one that told Lori not to open anything.
Yeah, Luann's the protagonist. I mean,
Luann's
antagonist.
the
is the
main
best
villain of
character.
everything
Luann is
ever.
antagonist.
So throughout this episode, every character had their own little character arc. From Luna's trying to make the perfect Christmas song to, and again I mentioned this earlier, Lola having one of the best times she's ever been written, because she's trying to make up for all of the bad and naughty things that she's done throughout the year.
It's like My Name is Earl.
Exactly. Except
At least they're acknowledging that she's not a good kid.
And then Lisa saying, you're stupid because, there's no such thing as Santa.
And Lenny trying to get a good Christmas outfit.
Yeah, Lenny trying to get a good Christmas outfit, and then...
And Rita being seriously, what keeps happening to all my stuff?
I like how they portrayed Santa not existing in this episode.
I mean, even Lily had a little character arc where she just kept constantly popping out of a stocking.
She hated Luann's tongue, so Lily's the best sister now.
Luann...
Stalked by Lily.
Luann's 12 puns of Christmas, the mom obsessing over setting up for Christmas, the dad baking his figgy pudding,
Lenny trying to find the perfect Christmas outfit.
Wait, what happened to my Yeah. Lynn and Lucy trying to find their Christmas presents, which led to them,
good.
Lifting boilers and couches and seancing the...
And Lana trying to
really
catch
good
Santa.
together.
Who can forget about Lana trying to catch Santa? Or a reindeer. No, it was a reindeer.
My reindeer cage worked!
And Clyde's, where he got launched away by Lana.
Yeah.
And abducted by an eagle, apparently.
Oh, and then speaking of which, we also have Clyde having the trying to get a smooch from Lori, but it's done in a very innocent holiday way.
Yeah.
My man Clyde finally got the prize.
We're proud of him.
My dude.
We're proud of him.
And then, who are we forgetting? Oh yeah, we're forgetting the most important part of the episode. So, the entire thing starts off with Lincoln, wanting to try out sledding, who sleds down their metal slide and then, hits a rock in the ground, sends it flying into Mr. Grouse's yard. And that kickstarts the whole thing of, breaking in, trying to steal his stuff back. And honestly, one thing that I don't think people focused enough on was, I would really like to see an episode of Mr. Grouse and his family. Like the large family that he has. Just like a one-off episode, but I think that could be pretty cool.
Or short.
Yeah, possibly Mr. Grouse being featured in more episodes. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Like, I was thinking of an episode where it's like, there's some holiday, and Mr. Grouse starts out the episode by being like, in a family as big as mine, and then, him going to visit his family.
Grouse house.
That fits.
Then it ends with him trying to figure out how to get back home because the Loud family gave him a one-way ticket.
The Loud Grouse or the Grouse house? I think the Grouse house sounds better.
Grouse house makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they figure out why their grumpy old neighbor, Mr. Grouse, is so mean, and they do their best to cheer him up. Very simple
And they gave him a
premise.
one-way ticket. No way to get back or anything. They just gave him a one-way ticket to go see his family.
Well, his family can...
Can...
His family can pay for him to go back.
Yeah, it's just he can't pay for himself to go.
I think there should be more episodes that are 30 minutes long.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because, again, this made it possible to write every character well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, even all of the pets had a little bit of, they had their cute little gags, and I don't know, I just felt like this gave everyone proper time.
Yeah, it was nice and Christmassy. I loved it. Made me want to drink cocoa by the fireplace.
And, of course, the humor in this episode was just on point. Everywhere, jokes hit and landed perfectly. I don't think there was an unfunny joke anywhere in this episode.
Yeah, it was a real good Christmas feel-good episode.
Yeah, I think... Does anyone have a favorite joke in here from the episode?
Anything Luann did.
It was already mentioned, but the first time Luna tried to sing a song and it got cut off. But that was already mentioned. That was my favorite.
I liked the ending when they sang the song together.
I liked the part where Bobby was literally in a box for a couple days.
Yeah.
I like the part where Clyde's thinking about Bobby going over the fence. That's great.
No, speaking of Clyde,
Abducted by a bird.
Yeah, Clyde, I see you cut back on the mistletoe this year. Yeah, I don't want a repeat of last year. And then he just gets dragged away by an eagle.
And that's probably why he's afraid of heights.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Look at him hit cannon or whatever.
And then, of course, other funny moments included another Clyde one when they're doing the plan to sneak into Mr. Grouse's house. He's like, "Oh, that's great, Lincoln, but what's that?" And he points over a little bit of yellow snow. Charles! Because it was just like a little like wet spot from Charles. All right, so I think we're starting to run out of things to talk about because everyone is super quiet right now.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
really.
it's 12:30 a.m. on Christmas morning. Not really. We're all winding down here.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just wondering if anyone had anything else to add.
Good
I will-
episode, and I hope they do more like that one. Because it was a good. I watched it like 10 times this whole month, because why not?
Oh, and of course, I guess if there's anything else I can say about the episode before we wrap it up, the Luann Lucy joke. There, Mr. Grouse, we decorated your. We made it so it wasn't so dreary, or no, it wasn't so depressing. Yeah, you ruined it when
Oh
they
yeah,
just.
that was a really good joke. I forgot about that joke. That was really good.
So overall, I really want to see more like this. I really want to see more.
About a Valentine's Day special, that'd be pretty interesting.
A Valentine's Day special would be great. I
All about
personally.
Ronnie Ann.
Oh, that'd be adorable. Although I do think that it doesn't even need to be a holiday special. I mean, one of the ideas that they threw around on the Nickelodeon podcast, and that I agree would be a great idea for one, would be Viva Loud Vegas, like a movie where they just all go to Vegas.
That'd be awesome. I'm making about that.
Speaking of outro songs,
I love a TV movie.
Speaking of outro songs,
yes.
oh Viva, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. You
Oh,
sneaky
hey!
little, I get
Oh,
it. You
hey.
sneaky little punny person.
You little meme head.
Anywho, I guess
We
as
know.
the Yuletide comes and we all have to get in bed waiting for visions of sugar plums to dance in our heads,
Oh.
I guess that means we're gonna be signing off here, as all of us here at the Loud House very much, or at the Loudcast, very much appreciate your listening, your viewership, your comments, your critiques, and
Your
anything
like
that
button.
you have. Your dedication, and we'd all like to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
And happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, that.
For sure.
But here,
Don't.
let's try it on the count of 3. We all say Merry Christmas. 3, 2, 1.
Merry
Christmas!
Christmas.
I hate you.
Okay, do it again.
Merry
Happy
Christmas
holidays.
and
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Holidays from the Loudcast. Tune in next
Yeah.
week for our special on the best and worst siblings in the Loud House, as voted on by our esteemed panel of judges and experts. So, this is Lincoln.
is best.
This is Lincoln, signing off.
This is Lolo signing off.
Go pro.
This is Lincoln
This
signing
is
off.
Lincoln signing
This
off.
is Lincoln,
This is
signing
Lincoln
off.
signing
Lincoln
off.
signing off.
This is
This is
Lincoln.
Lincoln signing off.
Lincoln.
Linus
This
had
is the
also-
cartoon
Lincoln.
character that it's coming
No,
through
this is
to is
Patrick
Lincoln.
signing off.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No.
No.
This is
Lincoln.
this-
Wait.
Is this
Wait,
the
guys.
loud crowd?
Guys, hold on, quiet. I think there's something wrong with my thing. Hold on. Everyone stay
Yes.
quiet for the recording.
Okay, let's be quiet.
This is Lincoln signing off.